Let me ask you something straight from the heart. Have you ever woken up, swung your legs off the bed, and felt like they just weren't there? Weak, shaky, like your muscles had been stolen overnight? You tell yourself it's just age, but deep down, you know something isn't right. Maybe you used to walk a mile with ease. Now, getting to the mailbox feels like a mountain climb. And here's what no one's telling you. That quiet weakness you feel, it's not just aging. It could be the earliest sign that your body is entering a catabolic state. That's the silent breakdown mode. And if you don't stop it soon, it could lead to something much worse. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, about 25% of Americans over the age of 65 have had a stroke or mini stroke. And in most of those cases, muscle weakness showed up first. That's right. Muscle loss often comes before the stroke, not the other way around. So I'm asking you, right now, have you noticed your legs getting smaller? Are you using your arms to push off the couch more than you used to? Do you feel like you can't stand up without grabbing onto something? If so, drop a 1 in the comments. If you haven't noticed it yet, type 0 and keep watching, because what I'm about to share could be the reason you avoid a walker. Could be the reason you keep living on your own and never set foot in a nursing home. Let's take your strength back, starting right now. Number 1, the age trap, why muscle loss peaks. After 75 and what it's really hiding. Let me be brutally honest with you. If you're over 75, you are standing on a cliff and the ground beneath your feet, it's not solid anymore. Every time you struggle to get out of a chair, every time your legs shake while brushing your teeth, that's not just aging. It's a signal, a red alert, a message your body is sending, that it's slipping into sarcopenia. Now, what is sarcopenia? It's a condition where your muscle cells shrink, your strength disappears, and your metabolism crashes. It starts silently, slowly. But once you cross 75, the decline speeds up like a runaway train. Dr. Luigi Ferrucci, chief scientist at the National Institute on Aging, once said muscle loss is the most powerful predictor of mortality we've ever studied in people over 65. And yet, almost nobody talks about it. Instead, we hear things like, oh, Grandpa's just slowing down. No. Grandpa might be one fall away from a hospital bed, or worse. Let me share something personal. Last year, I had a patient named Walter, 78 years old, used to walk his dog every morning, 1 full mile around the neighborhood. Then one day, he tripped while getting the newspaper. Just a minor stumble. But the real problem wasn't the fall. It was that he couldn't get up. His legs simply weren't strong enough anymore. At the hospital, they didn't find a stroke. They found severe muscle atrophy. His quads had withered down to less than 50% of their mass compared to when he was 65. He never walked the same way again. So let me ask you, have your pants started fitting looser around your thighs? Have you noticed your balance isn't what it used to be? Do you sit longer just because standing feels like work? Then hear me loud and clear. This is not just about getting old. This is about muscle death, about losing your ability to live on your own, and about increasing your risk of stroke, falls, and long-term disability by up to 4 times. According to research published by Harvard Health, here's what I want you to do after watching this video. I want you to try something. Stand up from your chair without using your hands. If you can't, that's your warning light, your wake-up call. And if you can stand, I want you to leave a comment saying I stood. If you couldn't, say I need to work. Because either way, we start the journey back today. Number 2, 3 silent muscle mistakes that quietly raise your stroke. Risk. You want the truth. It's not your age that's stealing your muscle. It's not just getting older that's making you weaker. It's the small, invisible things you do every day or don't do that are quietly robbing your body of strength and putting your brain at serious risk. Let's be clear. Stroke doesn't begin in your head, it begins in your habits. Let me walk you through 3 silent muscle mistakes that most people over 60 are making without even realizing it. And by the time they feel the consequences, it's often too late. Mistake number 1, skipping protein at breakfast. You wake up, you grab a coffee, maybe a piece of toast, maybe nothing at all. You just made the first muscle-wasting move of the day. See, after 8 to 10 hours of fasting overnight, your body wakes up in a catabolic state. That means your system is actively breaking down tissue for energy, and if you don't give it protein in the first hour, it starts breaking down your muscles. Studies from Tufts University's Human Nutrition Research Center on Aging show that older adults who consume less than 25 grams of protein at breakfast experience muscle loss at nearly twice the rate of those who hit that mark. What's 25 grams, about 3 scrambled eggs in a scoop of Greek yogurt? Not much, but it makes a big difference. Protein in the morning doesn't just protect your muscles, it stabilizes blood sugar, improves balance, and improves brain function. Skip it and you're starting your day in breakdown mode. Mistake number 2, sitting for more than 6 hours without standing up. Here's the trap: you think walking 30 minutes in the evening makes up for sitting all day. It doesn't. Research from Mayo Clinic shows that prolonged sitting, even with daily exercise, increases risk of muscle atrophy and cardiovascular disease by over 30% in seniors. Why? Because when you sit for hours, your leg muscles stop contracting. That means blood flow slows, lymph stagnates, and oxygen delivery to tissues declines. Worse, your muscle-building genes switch off. Even if you hit the gym later, you're starting from behind. Muscles are like fires; they die out if you don't keep them burning. If you sit more than 6 hours without moving, you're not just losing strength. You're losing blood circulation and starving your brain in the process. Mistake number 3, taking blood pressure medications on an empty stomach. You might be doing this right now without knowing the risk. Taking your medication first thing in the morning before eating might be silently setting you up for a fall. Here's why many blood pressure drugs lower systemic pressure within minutes. If there's no food in your stomach, your blood sugar is already low. That sudden drop in pressure can reduce blood flow to the brain, triggering dizziness, blurred vision, or worse, a fainting episode. Now imagine that happens to someone with weak legs, no stability, no control, and boom, another fall, another hospital trip, or something even worse, a transient ischemic attack, also called a mini stroke. According to Johns Hopkins Medicine, nearly 20% of all TIAs occur shortly after standing or sitting up too quickly, often triggered by low blood pressure in vulnerable seniors. And yes, your weak muscles make it worse, because without leg strength, you can't push blood back up to the brain fast enough. It's a perfect storm. What can you do about it? 1. Fix your breakfast. Make it count. You need at least 30 grams of protein before noon. Eggs, cottage cheese, protein smoothies, simple and powerful. 2. Break your sitting time. Set a timer to stand or walk every 60 minutes. Even 2 minutes of pacing, calf raises, or slow squats can reawaken your circulation. 3. Take medications after eating unless directed otherwise by your physician. 4. Stay hydrated, because thick, dry blood flows poorly, and that slows muscle repair and brain protection. 5. Start your day with 3 sit-to-stand reps. It's free or it's fast. It works. Now tell me this. Which of these 3 mistakes have you been making? Comment below. 1, if you skip protein. 2, if you sit too long. 3, if you take meds on an empty stomach. And don't be embarrassed. This isn't about guilt. It's about awareness. The faster we name the trap, the faster we climb out of it. Let's break the cycle before muscle loss becomes brain loss, before one little habit becomes a big emergency. Number 3, when you can't stand without help, your brain might already be starving. Let's get brutally honest. You didn't wake up one morning and suddenly become fragile. This didn't happen overnight. Losing muscle, losing balance, needing support to stand. These are not random events. They are compounding signals, like warning lights on the dashboard of your body. And if we don't read those signals in time, the cost can be devastating. Now I want you to do a little test, quietly. Right there in your living room, try to stand up from your chair. No armrest, no pushing with your hands, just your legs. Couldn't do it. You're not alone, but you are at risk. See, when your leg muscles can't support your own body weight, it means you've lost functional strength, and that matters far more than how much you weigh or how old you are. Why? Because those leg muscles are not just for walking. They are your circulatory engine. Every time you move, your calves and thighs help pump blood back up to the brain. This is called the muscle pump effect. When those muscles shrink, weaken, or get lazy from too much sitting, that blood flow slows. Your brain starts receiving less oxygen and less glucose. Over weeks and months, this creates what doctors call a hypoperfusion state. Your brain is being starved of the resources it needs to stay sharp, balanced, and protected from stroke. Let me say that again. Weak legs don't just make you unstable. They make your brain vulnerable. And most people don't realize this until it's too late. One fall, one moment of dizziness, one misstep, and boom, you're in the hospital with a broken hip or worse, a stroke. So what's the twist? Here's what nobody tells you by the time you notice weakness. The damage has already started. Your body doesn't whisper forever. Eventually, it screams. And sadly, many seniors are told this is normal aging. But the truth, it's preventable, and in many cases, reversible. According to a study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity, seniors who engaged in sit-to-stand training 3 times per day for 8 weeks improved not just leg strength, but cognitive performance scores by 18%. Let that sink in. Standing up helped sharpen their brain. That's not a coincidence. That's the neuromuscular connection at work. Your legs and your brain are talking to each other all day long, but when the legs go silent, the brain suffers. So let's flip the script. What can you do right now? Step 1, every time you stand, don't use your hands. Yes, it's hard at first, but it gets easier with repetition. Step 2, stand up and sit back down slowly 5 times in a row. If you can't do 5, start with 3. If 3 is too hard, start with 1, but start. Step 3, do this 3 times per day, morning, afternoon, and evening. This alone can rebuild circulation, leg power, and neurological control. Step 4, hydrate. Dehydration makes your blood thicker. Thicker blood flows slower. Slower blood, slower brain. Step 5, add 10-second single-leg balance drills every morning. Stand on one foot while brushing your teeth. It trains not just your legs, but your inner ear, core, and brain coordination. It may seem small, but these steps are medicine. They're what I prescribe before I write a single pill. And I want you to remember something. Needing help to stand is not the end. It's the beginning of your comeback. Now, let's talk. I want you to comment right now. Have you been struggling to stand up lately? Do you find yourself reaching for furniture to balance? If yes, type stand. If not yet, type strong. And whatever you write, make this the moment you stop accepting weakness and start reclaiming control. Because no matter your age, your body still wants to fight. You just have to let it. Let me leave you with this. If your legs could talk, they would beg you for movement, for nutrients, for strength. They don't need fancy equipment. They don't need a gym membership. They just need you. Every time you choose to stand without help, you're reclaiming a part of your freedom. Every time you move your legs, even just for 2 minutes, you're telling your body, I'm still here. I'm not done yet. You are not a statistic. You are not a number in a medical report. You're someone who still wants to walk into the store without a cane, still wants to get off the couch without assistance, still wants to remember your grandchildren's names, clearly and proudly. But that starts with movement and the choice you make today. So here's what I want you to do. Share this video with someone you care about. Someone who might also be struggling to stand, but too proud to say it out loud. Comment below with just one word stand if you're ready to fight back, because this isn't about aging gracefully, it's about aging powerfully. And if this video hit home for you, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell, because what we're sharing next might shock you. There's a type of muscle inflammation that's silently attacking people over 65. Most don't even know they have it, but it could be the reason your legs feel stiff, your back aches in the morning, or why you can't lift your foot like you used to. It's treatable, but only if caught early. The next video will reveal exactly what it is, how to detect it at home, and what foods to avoid starting tomorrow morning. Don't miss it. You've come this far. Now take one more step for your muscles, your mind, and your independence.